Let's take a quick and high-level overview of the features and reports you get with Akixi 1000. Akixi 1000 comes with all the features and reports you get with Akixi Lite, as well as a few additions. One of the main additions being real-time reporting. As you can see from this active calls list, which is the first Akixi 1000 report we're going to look at, each state of a different call is represented by a different colour. In this instance, the green rows are currently representing an active call, with a yellow row representing a call that's yet to be answered. So the active calls list gives you a view of all the calls that are currently happening on the system. The next Akixi 1000 report we're going to look at is the calls by DDI report. As you can see, we can also view this in real time, and it's given us that same information as active calls and calls that are waiting to be answered. So on the calls by DDI report, each row represents a DDI or DID currently on the system. You can then use this report to look at call statistics associated against a specific DDI or a range of DDIs. Again, as with any Akixi report, you can apply whatever filtering and time frame you want to this. The next report we're going to look at is the half-hourly interval. Although we covered this in Akixi Lite, an additional feature that Akixi 1000 brings is the ability to view a report as a chart. Depending on what information you're after, it's sometimes easier to see at a glance call information when displayed as a chart. This, for example, shows the call traffic patterns throughout a 24-hour period. So, moving on to probably the best recognisable report type, and that is the Wallboard. Wallboards are probably the best real-time report to give you a snapshot regarding current call traffic. Moving on to the next Akixi 1000 report, and that is the extension list. Again, this is another great report to view in real time, with it showing that real-time status of extensions, as well as all the usual call statistics. You've also got the option of viewing in a BLF view. And Akixi gives you two options, horizontal or vertical. So you can play around with the views and get what you want out of it. Going back to the extension list as a detailed table view, you can see each row represents an extension, with information such as the name, and of course all the associated call statistics. And again, for any current calls that are happening at this time, you've got that real-time information on that call as well. Then moving on to possibly the most powerful report within Akixi, and that is the unreturned lost calls list. The way the unreturned lost calls list works is when a call is abandoned on the system, an abandoned call being when a caller has rung into the system and hung up before they've been answered, whether they got bored of waiting or what, I don't know. The unreturned lost calls list lets you accurately see which of those abandoned calls have been returned. So you can see on this report, you've got the green rows and you've got the red rows. The red row represents an abandoned call where that caller has not been contacted. A green row represents an abandoned call where the caller has either called back in and has been subsequently answered, or somebody has called that caller back and the caller answered. So once that caller has been contacted, that red row will turn green, and the green rows will stay on the system for between 15 and 30 minutes. What makes the unreturned lost calls list that little bit more powerful is, as an Akixi supervisor, you can click on one of the red unreturned calls and just simply click to dial. So the final Akixi 1000 report we're going to look at is the external content report. This allows you to enter an external URL and view it through an Akixi report window. We find this report is most commonly used with the transition feature in conjunction with other reports. And don't forget, whilst you're in Akixi, if you want any more details or help on anything you're looking at or any other report, if you press the F1 key, that'll take you to the context relative help section.